All right. Welcome to the next YouTube video. I don't know if I would have posted it yet or not, but part 3 of the factory styling series features the new extremely uncomfortable couch. Fun fact, me and James try to mimic the sound. Normally it's not something as wholesome as a kombucha. Anyway, we try to mimic the sound of like opening a can. So that's my best impression. I'm a kombucha addict. I reckon I have 1 a day, sometimes 2, but I know it's probably not great for you to have 2. I just love it. I love bubbles. My bubbles. Anyway, let's get cozy. This is gonna be the vibe of YouTube from now on. I really wanna create an atmosphere that literally just makes you feel like we're sitting together, like you're in my client meeting space, we're having a wine or we're having a kombucha. Oh, my next YouTube should be with a wine. Oh my God, done. Okay, today we're being wholesome and we're having a kombucha, but the next one we'll have a wine and we're just gonna chat. I had another photographer slide into the DMs recently. She was just asking me a million questions and I was like, this is amazing. Ask me more questions because it helps me with what you guys want to see, what you want to know. It's just amazing for helping me create valuable content rather than just random content that no one wants to see. So she was asking me all these amazing questions, and one that she asked that does pop up quite often is my workflow. So pretty much like what my workflow looks like from inquiry right through to delivering their gallery or their fine art wedding album, which is here somewhere. I should really have that on the table, but I didn't exactly purchase a table that fits everything. That's for another video. So let's talk about client workflow, programs that I use, and how you can simplify your own. So obviously it all starts from the inquiry. Now, to start this off, as soon as I get an inquiry, that contact, that potential client, they go straight into Studio Ninja. So Studio Ninja is probably the hero of this video. I would be lost without Studio Ninja. I have like 100 subscribers on YouTube, so this is by no means sponsored. I have just used Studio Ninja pretty much ever since I started photography. So I will keep referencing it most likely throughout the video because that is what I use throughout my entire client process. It has literally simplified everything for me. I'm sure there's photographers out there and you are just still, I don't know whether you're using Excel spreadsheets, your notes app on your MacBook or whatever it is. I cannot tell you how much Studio Ninja just like gave me, especially as someone that my brain is constantly like, it's like a monkey clapping up there with whatever that musical instrument is. That's my brain 90% of the time. So I need a program that is going to send me reminders, it's going to automate emails, it's going to generate a questionnaire that I can send my clients, and that's what this program does. So I receive the inquiry, and before I've even got the booking, they are going into Studio Ninja because that is what is going to remind me to follow up that inquiry if I haven't heard back from them, okay? That's pretty much step 1. Step 2 is obviously then once you get the booking. So I've got a bit of a process of following up the inquiry. I only follow up 3 times though. I'm very grateful and very lucky that I have built my business to a point where I'm now, I guess, a little bit more picky with what clientele I take on, and I only want to take on clients that are aligned with me, with my style. You've got to be on the same path with your vision. I'm more of like a winery or a coastal, or, you know, just more of like a luxury vibe client is what I'm after. The barn client is not for me. No offense if you're a barn client, we're just not aligned. again, I'm very grateful and very lucky that I can be picky now with who I take on as a client. So for that reason, I don't follow up more than 3 times, because if we're not aligned in those first 3 emails, end of story, we're not aligned. So I let that client go. So that can sort of be, I guess, a takeaway for you today. You're not supposed to get every single booking. If you get every single booking, first of all, you're way too cheap. You're not refining your dream client. Like, everyone's got a niche dream client. So if you're taking on every single client, the further and further away you're going to get from narrowing down your niche target audience. So I have narrowed down my niche target audience. It's modern day couples that are focused on the storytelling side of their, whatever they're capturing. I was going to say day, but I also capture the maternity and family. They think about the style. They think about the luxury elements of what they want to capture. That is my niche target audience. If I receive an inquiry and they're not aligned with that, I'm not going to take on that client. We're not aligned. End of story. If the client is aligned and they go ahead with a booking, from there, again, we're still in Studio Ninja. I'm sending them through their contract. I'm sending them through their quote, their invoice, their questionnaire. Everything between booking and wedding day is done on Studio Ninja. So I have a whole workflow on there. Maybe that's something that down the track, if enough people want that and are interested, I can make a bit of a template workflow that I use, like my exact workflow that I use on Studio Ninja. So if that is something that you would like, please leave that in the comments, because if I know people want it, I will create it. So Studio Ninja will prompt me to catch up with them a couple of times before the wedding or shoot. Sorry, I'm just going to naturally keep saying wedding because that is my main clientele, but this can be related to maternity family shoots as well. Same workflow, essentially. There might just be a few minor tweaks. So now we've got either the wedding day or the shoot. In preparation for my shoot days, I've always got a shot list. So if that's a wedding, I've created a timeline. If it's a shoot, I've got a shot list. Again, me being one of those people that my brain, and creative people will get this, your brain when you're at a shoot, there's so much stimulus that just like makes you go, I want to do that, I want to do that, I want to do that. And there's been times that I've like either left a wedding or left a shoot and like there's been key shots that I wanted to get, but I've been distracted by other creativity around me. So I've learnt to create a shot list, to create a timeline, to make sure I get the key shots. And then once I've got that, then I've got some free time and free headspace to look around me and get the creative shots as well. For the wedding day timeline, this is obviously discussed with your couple because they're going to have a timeline from the venue as well. So you have to make sure everything is aligned. And then for shoots, whether it's family shoots, maternity shoots, I'm sort of just creating like a bit of a checklist to make sure that I've got variety in their gallery. You know, you don't just want 30 photos that look exactly the same. I like to get photos of the belly. I like to get photos of them as a couple and like having a little intimate moment. If there's other kids already in the family, we want the kids involved. We want the kids touching the belly. We want little detail shots, like if they're engaged, their hand on the belly showing the ring. Like, you want to get all of these details that tell a story in their gallery rather than just, let's just get 30 photos of you being pregnant or 30 photos of your family. Boring. No, I want to tell a story from start to finish of this chapter of their life. So that requires me to prepare for that and create a shot list. Then we've got post-session, post-wedding. This is where the majority of the work happens. Everyone sort of thinks that you just go shoot a wedding and that's that, like the next day, clock off, day off. No, this is where all the work starts. This is where my other 3 programs that I use for workflow come into play. I use Aftershoot for culling. I have experimented with a few different culling, like AI culling programs. I have found Aftershoot to be the best. I send my wedding couples sneak peeks the next day and maternity or family shoot couples proofs. the next day. So sneak peeks are, I've chosen the photos and I've edited them, whereas the proofs, because in those sessions they're only getting 30 photos, I will send them through a gallery of watermarked raw images so they can choose the photos that they would like included in their final gallery. I used to pick the images myself. I just found that sometimes I was really struggling to pick the photos that they would love, so I just decided to make my life easier and send them a gallery of 100 to 200 watermarked images, and they would pick their own images. I'm sure I'm gonna have photos in there that are my favorites, and I will just add them in anyway if they haven't chosen those, because I wanna use those for my portfolio. But then at least I know the photos that they are receiving for their gallery, they are their favorite images. And then after that, the editing of the galleries, I use Imagen AI to do the bulk of my edit. So Imagen AI, you can put your preset into the program. I think it's maybe like, it's either 3,000 or 5,000 images it requires to learn your preset. Once it learns, you can inject a raw gallery into Imagen AI and it will edit it for you in the preset. The reason I love this so much is because, and photographers, you would have experienced this before, you can put your preset on one image and it looks stunning, and then you put it on the next image that's in completely different lighting and you're like, what the fuck happened to my preset? Imagen takes the colors and the tones and the highlights and the shadows and everything that you like in your preset, but it applies it to that lighting setting. Then all I have to do is put that gallery into Lightroom, and in Lightroom is where I'll do all my tweaking, getting rid of any noise in the background. So by that I mean if there's, you know, a stunning photo of the couple, but unfortunately Uncle Dave is lurking in the background with his Nokia 3316, I'm gonna remove him from the background. Once the gallery is done, the final program that I use within my workflow is PicTime. There's multiple online digital gallery programs that you can use, but I found PicTime to be my favorite. It looks so luxurious, it looks editorial, it looks professional. It's so easy to use. The couple can like download their photos straight from the gallery onto their phone, onto their desktop. They can also order prints, albums, whatever they want. Like everything is so accessible and easy to use. So that's why it is my favorite. So everything goes onto PicTime, and then the couple gets sent their gallery link. And then from there, either they've already ordered an album or now they've got the option to order an album. And after that, it's just me patiently waiting for them to get pregnant. Basically, I'm like another mother-in-law that they didn't ask for. You know how like the mother-in-law is always like on your wedding day, when are you having babies? It's like, can we celebrate this first? And then that's me, constantly in their DMs. Are you guys pregnant yet? That is my entire workflow from inquiry right through to gallery delivery or album delivery. If this is a sort of experience you would like with me, I would love to hear from you. If you're a photographer and you have any questions, I'd also love to hear from you. I will leave all the relevant links in the description below, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers! I can't wait for that to be a Pinot.